Good evening, Vinyl Community YouTube. Hope everybody's doing really well out there. Saturday night, Rob back for another video. I thought I've been very remiss recently with competitions, it's been a while since I've done one. Um, no excuses, just been extremely lazy, um, and not always feeling particularly inspired. I must admit, I've been watching a few entries recently in the last few days for Telegram Sam's competition. She's looking to gain 600 subscribers, which ironically she's surpassed that in flying colours now. I think she's last time I looked, I think she was up to nearly 1,000. So very, very well done, Sam. Incredible achievement there. Really, really well done. Clearly, the competition hasn't done you any harm whatsoever. So fantastic stuff. Well deserved. What is her contest? Okay. For those that haven't seen her video or any of the entries, it's essentially what's called Connect Four. So essentially, what you got to basically do is to link four records or albums specifically together that have a common denominator or common thread to some degree. Okay, and she has stipulated that you can do more than four, but yeah, I kind of was struggling, as I often do with these contests. So I thought I'd play safe and just go for the four. So okay. So anyway, so a little bit about Sam's channel. So she's very lovely girl. She's got a great, relaxed way about her. Presents herself really well. She speaks very well about the records that she loves. Hugely eclectic tastes. Shows all kinds of music, which is fantastic because you never know what you're going to see when you tune in, which is always a bonus. She's just doing remarkably well with her sub count, and hopefully she'll be getting many more. So okay, so let's crack on with the contest. So first one I'm going to start with is this. So this is SF Sorrow by The Pretty Things. So this is their 1968 album, their fourth album release, and it's generally considered to be the sort of one of the first, if not the first, kind of concept or rock opera records. I know that kind of has been that's certainly been cited that the Who were very much, or Pete Townsend in particular, was very much influenced by this record. I mean, you can certainly see there's parallels there. It's essentially it's a story written by Phil May, the vocalist, about one Sebastian F. Sorrow, and very much about a story of kind of birth, life, his kind of struggles with life, relationships, disillusionment through kind of wars, and sort of existential factors. Finally coming to terms with loneliness and old age, which is, I'm sure, something that a lot of us as human beings all encounter to a greater or lesser extent in our lives. So I mean, obviously, again, you can see those kind of obvious parallels, I guess, with an album like Tommy, although it has been heavily refuted by the Who and Pete Townsend in particular, that he wasn't influenced by it at all. the pretty things, and the critics don't seem to agree. So anyway, but there we go. So yeah, it's a great album, very melodic, quite grand in stature, and scope with the sounds on here. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't an album that I liked particularly the first couple of times I heard it. I had to play it a few times for it to kind of get under my skin and click, which is sometimes the way with these records. The reason I was actually introduced to it was because I was told that it was influenced by it was an influence for the Who to write Tommy, and I've always liked Tommy and the Who, so I checked it out. But as I say, leaving that aside and just listening to it as a record in its own right made it it made much better sense and was a more pleasurable listen. So so this is an 80s reissue on Edzell Records. That's the lyrics in the gatefold. So, and I've got a few of these Edzell records. They're always great reissues. I've got a couple, including Super Snaz, Flaming Groovies. That's another Edzell one that I have. Excellent stuff. So anyway, so what's going to be the link? Okay, I digress. The link from this album is that it was recorded not only at Abbey Road in London, but it was produced by Norman Smith. Okay, which leads me on to the second record, which is Pink Floyd's wonderful debut Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Which was also produced by Norman Smith. So yeah, fantastic. I don't think there's anything that really needs to be said about this record that hasn't really been said. Cliche after cliche, Rob. So yeah, we've got the wonderful opener, Astronomy Domine, fantastic, fabulous opener. Lucifer Sam, Matilda Mother, Flaming. I love all four of those tracks. They're just brilliant. Take Up Thy Stethoscope and Walk, not so keen on that one. And then there's really humorous songs of Barrett's on side 2, The Known, chapter 24, Bike, and the track The Scarecrow, which leaves me onto my third choice, which is Scarecrow's Journey by Robin Lentz. So Robin Lentz is a Canadian folk artist, progressive folk artist, who traveled to Europe with his family and was actually performing in the Dutch version of Hair, production of Hair, in the late 60s and early 70s, and it was about this time, 1971, that he recorded this album, and it's a wonderful, beautiful, quite ethereal but progressive in some ways, folk album. He has a wonderfully rich, smooth voice, vocals, with some kind of there's some kind of psychedelic touches there as well. Wonderful atmospheric sort of sea sounds. You can tell he's got a real love of the ocean. In more than at least 2 or 3 songs allude to the ocean and water in particular, and you can feel that love and that kind of empathy for that environment coming through in the music. Really wonderful, superb, great guitar player, fantastic musician, and while he was while he was actually performing in Hair, in in Holland. He actually met the house band, which was Focus, and they actually that's the Dutch progressive rock band Focus, and they he invited them to actually record as the backing group on this record. So yeah, stunning musicianship there, which leads me on to my fourth choice, which is of course Focus. So yeah, so the great Dutch prog rock band, famous for their songs "Has the King," "Sylvia," and "Hocus Pocus." Two yeah, in fact, all three of those songs are actually on this record. This is their 1972 double album release, Focus 3. Wonderful. Obviously, Hocus Pocus, you've got those fantastic, crazy yodeling vocals of These Van Leer, which is kind of bonkers and genius, sort of in equal measure. And yeah, is a delight. But yeah, wonderful. I'm sure a lot of you out there have heard Focus. Wonderful, sweeping kind of progressive rock with classical elements. Fantastic musicianship, flutes, wonderful guitar from Jan Akkerman. Superb stuff. So yeah, okay. So that's my four choices for this competition. So I hope by the time this uploads, I'm not too late, Sam. But if I am, so be it. It was fun to do it anyway. All it remains for me to say is very, very well done. All the best to you, and yeah, and good luck everybody who's entered or is still planning to enter. So cheers, guys, and I'll be back again for another video, I guess, quite soon. All the best. Thanks. Bye-bye.